In 13 days, one of you guys is taking home this car. You guys already know the build. SFLA wide body kit, Work ZR10 2P wheels, built engine, turbo kit, and soon to be making over 500 wheel. $3 spent on the website is one entry to take her home. Today, we are building a 500 wheel horsepower Evo 10 and hopefully getting started with tuning. Now previously, I already built a new engine for the car, installed a 57mm turbo from AGT, ETS intake, ETS intercooler piping, ETS intercooler, ultimate racing exhaust, Cobb downpipe, Cobb 3-port boost controller. Today, we are doing the fuel system. Injectors, fuel pump, modifying the fuel pump hanger, flex fuel kit, and a bunch of goodies from Radium. This here is the slew of goodies that the Evo is going to get. Let's run through what we have. So this is a Walbro 450 and a torque solution install kit, so we can put that in the factory hanger. This is a set of ID 1300cc injectors with the plug and play adapters. This is a fuel pump hardwire kit, must have for the Walbro 450. In this box is the flex fuel kit from Evolution Dynamics, which I have a discount code for this guy. So if you want to do flex on your Evo 10, you can save some money. And then a ton of goodies from Radium. Fuel rail kit, fuel rail plumbing kit, fuel pressure regulator, catch can setup, a clutch fork stop, and a fitting. I saved all of this for last because as soon as we start messing with the fuel system, the car needs to be tuned to even start it. As of right now, I can still start it, move it in and out of the shop. Now, of course, we're not going out and driving the car after I install the intake, the intercooler pipe, all that good stuff. But as soon as we start doing bigger injectors and all this stuff here, the car is not really gonna run until we get it tuned. Let's go ahead and start off with everything in the engine bay. That's gonna include the injectors, the fuel rail, and the fuel pressure regulator. Let's go ahead, strip this thing down, pull that rail off, factory injectors come out, get the new goodies installed, and move on to the fuel pump. So this is stripped down, the fuel line, the rail, the injectors, and the regulator are removed. So this line here will be replaced with the Radium. Here's the factory tiny, skinny, non-flowy rail versus the Radium. That's the factory regulator, non-adjustable of course. And here is the Radium adjustable regulator. The rail and injectors and regulator, they're all complete. Now we're gonna move on to the fuel pump. Under the back seat, we have this cover. Now under this cover is access to the fuel pump hanger. That guy right there. There's 6 nuts holding that thing in. We'll pull all those nuts off, pull the hanger out, and get the new Walbro 450 installed. We need these two pieces here. That guy we do not need at all. It is the factory fuel pump with the factory, I guess you'd call, bucket. This kit and this pump, replace that. This is how the fuel pump setup should look. We got the Walbro 450, the torque solution billet mounting kit, and this here is the factory, the OEM fuel pump holder clip. Now this will drop right into that and clip in. So this section here is ready to go. We do need to modify the return orifice on this guy right here. We're doing this so it drops fuel pressure. When you install a Walbro 450 on the factory lines and the factory return orifice size, you have oddly high fuel pressure. A way to drop that is by drilling this guy out. The whole fuel pump assembly is now done. Now it's very important, when you install this hose that's in the torque solution kit, you need to orientate it in a way that when this thing collapses, because it collapses as it goes in the tank, you need to test it a few times to make sure it's not going to pinch this line, which then you'll have no fuel flow and your car won't run. Let's finish up the fuel pump install with a hardwire kit. Now the reason you need a hardwire kit is that Walbro 450 is going to draw way too much power for the factory wiring. So this is a relay kit. You have a power, you have a ground, you have a trigger, and then you have a wire that goes to the fuel pump. Hardwire kit is done. The relay is mounted underneath here, super nice and clean, tapped into the trigger wire that runs through the floor right there. So yellow goes to pump, blue is trigger, and then of course red goes to battery, and the black wire right to ground. Let's make sure it works. When we turn the key, we should hear the pump. Before we move on to the flex fuel kit, I'm gonna go ahead and load up the base map from Chag Tuned and make sure the car still runs. I've done quite a bit of work. If there's any problems, it's easier to diagnose now versus adding more parts and complexity to the setup. Let's load up the base map, make sure it at least fires up, and then we can move on with the flex fuel kit. Here we have the base map loaded up. Ignition is on. Let's go ahead and flash it. So we just verified that everything with the fuel pump installed, the injectors, the rail, all that is working as it should. One last thing to finish up the entire fuel system for the build is the flex fuel kit. This is a very nice plug and play setup from Evolution Dynamics. We will do a little bit of wiring on top of the fuel pump hanger assembly, a little bit of plumbing, slap in our gauge, and the base map from Chag already has flex enabled. So that is all we need to do. Very simple install. The flex fuel sensor goes right in line, plug and play. Wiring gets connected to the factory fuel temp sensor right there. You do not need anything connected to the factory fuel temp sensor. Leave that unplugged. That single yellow wire runs over to the ethanol content sensor. That's all we need to do. Now this wiring, we run up to the gauge and we are literally done. That's it. Fuel system is now 100% complete, and before we head out and start tuning this thing, two more things I want to add. Number one, iridium clutch fork stop. We already have the ACT monolock collar, so basically what this prevents is on this pole style clutch, sometimes that throw-up bearing will get disengaged. It gets unclipped. The ACT monolock pretty much prevents that completely, but for extra insurance, a clutch fork stop is the thing to add. Number two is the catch can. So we're gonna add on a nice little radium can. This guy sits right behind the passenger headlight. Very clean, simple install for both of these. We're now ready to head out and start tuning this thing. So as of right now, it just has the base map on it. I went ahead and sent him a 5-minute idle log, a startup and idle log. That's all good to go. Now we're gonna head out and just cruise it for 20 minutes, data log the whole entire cruise, send that over, and if all looks good on the data log, then we can start working in some boost, start doing some pulls. We're gonna do all the pump gas tuning on the street. It'll probably make about 400 wheel on pump gas. And then of course, the ethanol, where it makes all the power, is going to be done on the dyno later on. Thankfully, I've been able to stack a few hundred miles on this new motor, so we're all good to go. Oil's changed, new plugs. This thing is ready to rip. First drive went phenomenal with the new setup. Chag is an absolute legend with tuning these things. The car literally runs like a factory car, even with the much larger fuel system. I'm gonna go ahead and skip all the boring, basic, just daily driving parts of tuning. You guys have seen me go through that a million different times with these cars. Basically, I'll log it, send Chag the logs. He'll adjust what he needs to adjust, send it back. I'll flash it, log it, and as soon as all the drivability is done and good and perfect, then we start doing pulls. If you want to snag a tune from Chag, I'll go ahead and link them down below. But my friends, that is going to be a wrap on the day. If you want to pick up any of the fuel system stuff that we installed, the flex fuel kit, the pump install kit, or the injectors or rail, I'll link all of that down below as well. 13 days, my friends, 13 days until one of you guys takes this car home. Head to the site, get your entries in. The car will come on whatever set of wheels that you decide. And if you don't want the car, take the 20K cash and dump 20 grand in mods into your own build. Thank you guys for watching. See you tomorrow.